Okay, so what do you think the main thing I teach beginner ukulele players is? Well, if you've clicked on this video, then probably you already know that it's tuning the instrument. If you can learn how to tune your own instrument, then you have a much better chance of actually learning how to play the ukulele, because you're going to be able to continually play and it's going to sound good, rather than pick it up and it just sounds like no matter what you do, it sounds horrible because your ukulele is so out of tune. And you can't wait every single week for your ukulele teacher to tune it for you. It's really easy to do, but there are a couple of tricks in there that I'm going to help you out with. So essentially there's really only two different styles of tuning. There's either going to be tuning by ear or tuning digitally. Now each of those styles has many options. First off, let's look at tuning digitally. You could use something like this, which is just a digital tuner. It will go on the end of your ukulele. But with one of these, what most people have an issue with is, as you see, you might not be able to see right here. If it's going to zoom in. Nope, it's not going to. Anyway, it shows guitar. So you're going to have to click on it until it says uke, which is going to be the tunings for your ukulele. A lot of people, if they have it on the wrong instrument, the instruments have different named strings, so it's never going to show your string correctly. I'm going to not going to use this right now because it's a little difficult for you guys to see, but it's all the tunings are going to work the same way. So I'm going to turn that off real quick. The easiest way to do it, so the app that I'm going to use, Guitar Tuna, and it has so many resources for you. So it takes a little while to load. We are just going to use the free trial. It has even more things on the paid version, but what you're going to have to do is click up here in the corner and make sure you're on ukulele. They also have guitar and they have bass, but we're going to be on ukulele. And just as a quick little option here, if you go into tools here, then you click on learn chords, you're going to have all these different chords, chord library, all these different chords that you would ever want to learn right here in the app, which is amazing. Okay, so we go to tune, and here you see, just like on here, it shows you exactly what the notes are. So we have G, which is this string, and that is actually a higher note than your C. So it goes la 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 la. So it's going to be a C, a G, an E, and an A. So when we are hitting this, we're going to hit this first one, and it's not showing that it's quite high enough. So I need to turn this in order to bring the note up. So I keep hitting the note, and then I keep bringing that note up a little by little. Now it's on G. It shows that it's on there, right? So now I go to the next note, which is C. Once again, it's showing that it's too low. So I'm going to have to tighten the string. When you tighten the string, it goes higher. We're right about on there now. Now we want to go to E. That's the next one here, which is right here. And apparently all of these were a little bit low, so I'm going to bring it up. If you ever go way too high, the best thing to do is to then bring it back down a little bit lower and then bring it back up to the note. It kind of locks it in place in a different way. All right, and the last one we're doing is A. Once again, that's lower. Bring it up, up, up. Now, after I played it for a little bit, I usually go back and tune it again because it's going to be just slightly off. They kind of have to settle in. Okay, so that is how you do it with your ukulele digital tuner. That would be the same with doing one like this. If you have a fancy one that has a place to plug in, you can actually plug it into a pedal and do it through that. These are all going to be exactly the same thing. You're just looking at it, making sure it hits the right note, and then playing that way. If you are tuning it by ear, you're hearing something and matching it to that. So in this case, if I was playing this note, you can hear this on your speakers right now, and you're going to want to match that. Now, this is a little bit more tricky. Typically, I have to make the noise with my mouth in order to hear that it's the same. So, la 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 la. Now, one of the things that is a double check, or something that you can help with the digital tuners, is to hear that it's the same. And that app, Guitar Tuner, if you hit the button, it will play the note for you, which is really helpful, because sometimes people are trying to hit the right note, like this one here, and it's actually an octave lower. So instead of going la la la, it's going la 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 la. And your digital tuner is going to say, that's perfect, but it's actually not right because it's way too low, and your strings are going to be really, really loose, and it's going to be all buzzy and horrible. So you can hear that that's right, and you can adjust yours based on this. La la la, la 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 la. That's your C. Next one is your E. La la la. And A. La 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 is your highest one. So your G, C, E, and A. Right. So try to get it to work out so that you're not hitting your notes way too high, because if you do continually keep cranking it higher and higher and higher, and you're playing a note that's much higher than that, that is when you're probably going to break your strings. If you're not tuning it way off like that, then it's very unlikely that you'll break your strings. So hearing it and making sure that pitch is sounding correct with this, even if you're using a digital tuner, is typically the way to go. So if you've never played ukulele before, I do a Sip and Strum live online course where you go from never having played it to playing a song. And we do it as a group. It's a lot of fun. This next one is on the 29th. Link's going to be in the description, and it would be super fun to have you there. All right. Enjoy playing, and make sure you keep that tuned up so that you can practice correctly.